Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to this week's Pick a Card reading for Monday, November 21st. Quick announcement. I just wanted to let the members of my website know that I'm not going to be publishing an extended reading for the Zodiac signs tonight because tomorrow I'm going to be publishing the big monthly reading. So please stay tuned for that. Keep your eyes open for that email so you can log into your account and access the extended readings. So for everybody, though, let's go ahead and get started with this week's Pick a Card reading. So the very first pile, we're using an Amethyst. Pile 2, we're using Celestite. And pile 3, we're using Citrine. So go ahead and take a moment and pick your pile. The timestamps are in the description box and the comment thread down below. Now, not everyone always feels intuitively drawn, and that's perfectly fine. I always say you can just randomly pick a pile too, and there's likely going to be a message in there for you somewhere. So timestamps down below, and I'll see you in just a sec. All right, pile number 1, you selected the Amethyst, so let's go ahead and see what comes through for you here. We start off with the Humpback Whale card, which says music is essential to your healing and well-being, whether singing, playing instrument, or listening. That's a really nice, gentle card. You know, just listen to music. Maybe this is a really good week to put yourself in a great mood. And maybe the best and fastest way to be able to do that is to play the music that makes you feel great. You know, and the kind of music that reflects the person that you want to be and kind of enables you to, I'm kind of getting the energy of like the fantasy realm with this, where the music can kind of act as this corridor or this channel through which you can enter a deeper fantasy world. But when I say fantasy world, I don't mean like delusion. I just mean the more daydream, because that's going to be so important for which actions you're going to want to take. If you allow yourself to really dream about your life and where you want to go and what you want to experience here, chances are you're going to be able to align your actions toward those things a lot easier. Obviously, we have to line stuff up in our minds first. Seems like music is going to be a great tool for you to be able to do that for yourself. All right, what else? These cards may or may not be related to this, so let's see. See the bigger picture. Well, we have this full moon in Sagittarius. Well, we don't have a full moon in Sagittarius this month, but we do have Sagittarius season coming up tomorrow. Happy Sagittarius season, everybody. So the Jupiterian nature of Sagittarius is quite different than the Mars nature of Scorpio, right? Mars being one of the rulers of Scorpio. So to make that transition will likely feel refreshing. And there is a freedom component, you know, like, of course, Sagittarius is all about freedom. And it's just about letting loose and allowing yourself to really embrace the adventure and embrace life, and to not put yourself in a situation where fear has a lot of power. You know, like you can have a fear, but it doesn't mean you have to let it win. You can still take action towards something. And when we're talking about the fantasy and the bigger picture, it's like your mind clearly has this place that it wants to go. It has this place that feels really, really good to think about. And release your blocks. Well, we just went through massive release energy through eclipse season, specifically that new moon eclipse in Scorpio. Blocks most likely connected with fear, but they could also be connected with emotions like anger or sadness. There could be guilt and shame in there as well. Perhaps seeing the bigger picture has been a little bit of a challenge. Sometimes people will have a bigger picture in their life, but they won't really let themselves indulge in those dreams because in their head they're like, oh, but that's improbable. You know, it's improbable, so I'm not going to waste my time in fantasy. I'm not going to waste my time dreaming. But really, it's only the dreamers that can ever get anywhere close to where they want to be, right? You have to be able to dream a little bit. Otherwise, what are you even doing? You know, how is it possible that you can build anything if you don't have a dream or a vision or a mission? So I feel like fear, but also anger and sadness being released. And it could be a little bit of resentment that has been held onto from the past, that you just have had a hard time really getting over. I mean, the scorpionic energy, it retains a lot, and it takes a lot to let it go. So it's probably something that has been inside of you for a really long time. So we start with but with the tarot, we've got Justice. Yeah, well, with the Three of Swords, it seems that's connected to your block. It was a heartbreak. It was a disappointment, a betrayal. I like the Tower. I know a lot of people don't like this card, but I really love it. I always say it's like the Wheel of Fortune in disguise. It's that card that comes out and it's like, yeah, it's going to rattle your cage a little bit, but there are always calmer waters on the other side. Maybe that's why music is going to be so important. I'm getting a little bit of escapism, but again, not in an unhealthy way, not like you're avoiding your whole life. It's just like this is where you're going to go to really disconnect from the day-to-day and connect from the menial and mundane and just kind of put yourself in a more fanciful world. And it's likely that the reason this is happening is because this needs to happen and you need some semblance of direction. The Tower can be a confusing moment if you don't know where you're going. But if you know exactly where you're going and you know exactly where you want to get to, I guess that's redundant. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that twice. Then when the Tower does occur, it's no surprise. It's not a surprise that this over here is going to need to shift if you're trying to get all the way over here. It's like if someone who is in an abusive relationship continually prays for happiness and happiness and happiness, is it any wonder that that relationship is going to come to an end? Like that's a Tower moment. Someone saying they don't want to be with you. And yeah, it may be scary because maybe it's all you've known, or maybe you're really attached and maybe it's, there's a strong connection there, or whatever the case is, but you asked for happiness. So the universe is going to give you happiness, but it's going to take away the stuff that doesn't make you happy, So don't be surprised by this. The Justice is that reminder, like everything has to balance out. So if you're asking for something, which you are by indulging in this big picture stuff, while you're here, the blocks are going to be released organically. The Tower is going to happen, and that's to be expected. So Justice is very neutral. It's not here to be your best friend. It's not a very cuddly energy. It's just here to enforce the rules. It's here to enforce the law. And the laws are, if you're thinking one thing and you take action towards something that's good for you, then highly probable that something that's not good for you is going to have to leave, because that's not where the momentum is going anymore. The momentum is going toward the good thing now, or the healthier thing, or the more lucrative or profitable thing, So don't be surprised by this. And I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of Tower moments over the course of the next month and a half. There's a lot of triggering events that are going to occur through December. We've got Chiron and Neptune going direct, and we've got a big full moon conjunct Mars. So, and plus also Sagittarius tends to be a straight shot. So nothing is really hiding in the dark corners like they are in Scorpio. It's just all going to get thrown in your face through Sagittarius, but it's going to be the best thing that ever happened to you because it's what's going to enable you to run free. This is all about freedom. It's Sagittarius season. It's all about freedom. Freedom from your pain, freedom from the excuses, freedom from all the reasons why not, so that you can indulge in all the reasons why. Okay? All right, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you all so much. You guys know I love and adore you. Have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you. So I'll see you tomorrow with the monthly extended, so keep your eyes open for that. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 2, you selected this beautiful Celestite. I think without question, one of my absolute favorite stones. Okay, so we have the Wolverine. It says you're a lot tougher than you think. Well, that's kind of an interesting message to kick off with. I don't know if you're dealing with something already or if you're about to deal with something. I don't know. I'm getting this image of someone who just is like a rock star. Like if someone tries to come in and stir some stuff with you or tries to pick a fight with you or whatever, you're just giving off this like, don't mess with me vibe. Like, don't lie to me. The thing I love about Sagittarius season, happy Sagittarius season, by the way. The thing I love about Sagittarius season is it's just like, it is going to call everybody out on their BS and there is no escape. So if anyone, you or anybody else, is trying to like get away with something, or like when a partner says, oh, you seem off, are you okay? And you're like, I'm fine. Obviously you're not fine, right? This is a time when people are going to be like, no, you're not fine. Tell me why. Tell me what's going on. And there's nothing that's going to be able to be like held onto. It's going to have to be released, because Sagittarius season is about freedom. We have to find freedom. And we're not going to find freedom if we hold it in. We're not going to find freedom if we don't say the words, like, going up to a boss who treats people poorly and really telling him what you think at the risk of getting fired, which you might, but you're tougher than you think. Does it matter? No, right? Like, that's the power that I'm feeling here. There's something ferocious about you, and you may not feel it like on a regular basis, but if something comes in and you're forced to deal with it, you will deal with it. Now, some people are more naturally like that than others. This is probably going to be a little bit more pronounced in the people who aren't used to that energy. Like, for example, I know that I have a really weak Mars and I'm a Libra rising, so I don't handle that kind of confrontation easily. But, like if this was my reading, it may be like, okay, well, someone like that, someone who avoids confrontation or just tries to do things just to be nice, or tries to appease, or tries to keep the peace, I don't know that you're going to be able to. If you get pushed or if you get triggered, you're probably going to do something about it. And also, if you're taking on new endeavors, like initiating a new project or reaching out to people or putting your heart on the line with someone, whatever the case is, it's like whatever that outcome is, you can handle it. Whether it's a go or not, you can definitely shoulder the responsibility there. Release control. Yeah, like there is that quality of keeping it in. And sometimes by control, like, have some self-control. That's just a way for people to be like, don't express your emotion because it makes me uncomfortable, right? Have some self-control. In one context anyway. But that release control is, again, it's just freeing. It's like when you don't have to make sure that you bear the brunt of the responsibility of everything, it's liberating. I think there's a lot of faith this week too. Sagittarius season, of course. There's a lot of faith being activated. We're forced to have faith. Because what happens if you do go in and tell your boss exactly what you think of them? Well, if you do get fired, you're going to have faith that there's another job there for you. I don't know how safe people are playing it right now. I'm not saying all of you are like about to completely disrupt your entire life. I mean, probably very few of you are actually about to do that, but I don't know. If it were to happen, I think you'd be okay with it, because you'd just be so trusting of the process, so trusting that it was the perfect thing that had to happen. Go for it. Aries and Taurus. These are like the ram and the bull and the Wolverine. I mean, come on now. Like those rams can butt heads pretty hard and those bulls can charge pretty hard. It may take a while for a bull to get to that point to where it's actually going to charge something, even for the rams. But I mean, even still, like, you're like going to be butting some heads most likely, or charging after something most likely. Just go for it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what shot you're trying to take here. But like, if you don't take the shot, you're never going to know. If you don't say it, you're never going to know. And I think knowing has greater value than self-control, right? Knowing has greater value than looking a certain way, or being socially acceptable, or being polite or politically correct, or whatever the thing is. Knowing is better than all of that. At least you know. You know what would happen. You know how that person would react or respond. And you don't have to worry about it. It's just out there. It's just out there. 6 of Swords with the Ace of Coins. 2 of Wands. You may think that the effects of going for it are a lot scarier than they actually are. I think it's like may have been getting built up in your head a little bit. I honestly don't see any negative effects of going for it. It's just crossing that threshold. That's it. 6 of Swords tells me that you do, though. You do cross that threshold, and look what happens. Ace of Coins, you're going to get something. There's going to be an offer on the table, something real and tangible. It's not, that's why I love the coins so much, because it's something you can put your hands on. It's money in the bank account. It's a real person next to you. It's not just a dream. It's not just a feeling. It's not just a desire, and it's not just a thought. It's something real. Now, this is something that it should not be a surprise for you, though. I mean, it may feel like a relief, because if you did take some kind of a risk or say something or put something out there, you can kind of feel like you're out on the limb all by yourself, and no one likes to feel that. And even if you do have an experience like that this week, it's not going to be that long before an Ace of Coins comes to save the day. It's like a lot of validation, for one, can also come through this, So this is going to make you smile, and you're going to really like this, because this actually, this seems like a little bit of a breaking point. You got pushed to a brink with something, and when you cross that threshold, this is a product of your thoughts, desires, and emotions all lining up. The reason that this was possible was because all the other aspects of you really clicked. The reason go for it is here is because spirit, heart, and mind are all aligned and cohesive and consolidated. So a little scary, but you're tougher than you think. You had a vision and you're going for it. You're at least taking the first steps, because you can't be here any longer. That's why all of this is happening. The dream happened initially, probably a long time ago. It happened because you were coming to a point where the expansion was stopping. And humans tend to get really discontent, no matter how stubborn they can be, right? We can all have a point of stubbornness, but no matter how stubborn a person is very difficult to be content when there is stagnation. And right now, expansion is our responsibility. The universe is not going to open up these doors. We have to go build the doors. Okay? That's what the go for it is. You're literally building the door, setting the stage for this expansion. Because this just simply became unbearable. I'm not saying it was bad. This is not bad. This is let's say you made $75,000 a year. Okay, that's not a bad salary. Depends on your circumstances and your family and all that. But let's say you're just a single person making $75,000 a year. You're living in Midwest United States. That could go a long way. It's fine. But you're yeah, but seeing all these other people make so much more money, and I think I want more, and I want to be able to travel more, and I want more freedom, and I want to invest, and I want to save for my retirement. I want to do all these things, and I can't do it on 75. So as great as this is, and it's fine, but it's not great enough for what I want to do. So that's why you're getting pushed to this. That's why you're kind of being asked to kind of step out of that place of comfort a little bit. Okay? Happy Sagittarius season. Welcome to this fire sign. We knew it was going to be like this. I've been talking about it since Leo season, so no surprise here whatsoever. All right? You guys know I love you. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you tomorrow with the big monthly readings. I should have those posted up by the evening time, so please keep your eyes open for that. All right? Thanks so much. Take care. All right, pile number 3, you selected the Citrine. So let's take a look at this first animal card. It's the emu. This is a good time to go on a new adventure. Oh my gosh, look at that. Happy Sagittarius season, everybody. Officially starts tomorrow. Do you feel it or no? Like, are you feeling like your heart is wanting to go and create some novelty? I think that's what it's about, novelty, right? Creating something unique and that you've never done before, and something that can stimulate your mind and to really get you out of the norm, and get you out of a place where, I don't know, it's not that you're completely discontent or anything. It's just, you just want an adventure. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that, especially not when Venus and Mercury and the Sun are in Sagittarius. All right, let's see what else comes. Oh, hold on. Okay. So that says practice. I think there's a misspelling on that card. Practice gratitude. Okay, well, that's also, this is a Sagittarius card. We got the Sagittarius symbol up here. Practice gratitude. Well, that's always a good recommendation. I don't know that you're not doing that. I'm pretty sure that you've already gotten into some kind of habit with that to some degree. Hold on. I'm having a hard time with this deck, apparently. Okay. Now push through any insecurity. For some reason, okay, now it makes sense, right? The gratitude card is here to help you by pushing through the insecurity. And you need to push through the insecurity so that you can go on a new adventure. It's all coming together, okay? This pushing through the insecurity, Sagittarius season is going to be so wonderful for that. It's simply going to free us. Now, Scorpio season had been, there was a lot with that South Node there. There was a lot with the eclipses and the Uranian energy and the Saturn T-square and everything. Like, there was just a lot. And there was a lot of determination that started to build up within us. And now the question is do you believe in yourself enough to allow yourself to go on this new adventure? Because this really could be anything. It could be falling in love with someone new. It could be quitting your job and starting a business, or taking your business from a single location and traveling around the world, or asking for that promotion. Like, the adventure can be defined in so many different ways, but you are going to have to deal with the insecurity that had been preventing you from doing this up till now. And gratitude is probably the vehicle, or this is like the key, right? The key to overcoming insecurity. Because when you wake up grateful that you have air in your lungs and that you're even alive, like, I'm not even going to tell you, well, maybe I shouldn't tell you this, but earlier this year with my health stuff, I used to leave my back door open for my cat in case I didn't wake up in the morning, right? Because I was like, if she's not going to be able to get out and I don't have enough people checking on me often enough to take care of my cat, so I need her to be able to at least survive, right? So like that's a very real thing, like waking up and just being grateful that you woke up. And if that's the bare minimum that you can do, like, at least do that, okay? Because when you're just grateful to be alive, there is nothing to be insecure about at all. When you're just grateful that you can breathe and you can walk around, or you can do certain things, or that your mind works, or that you have access to technology, or whatever the case is, like, it's almost as though the simpler the things that you're grateful for, the less room insecurity has to fester. Because it's like, what am I even being insecure about? Like, these insecurities are founded in other people's projections of their own insecurities onto me. They never really even belonged to me in the first place. Why am I harboring the responsibility for them? You know? So what else comes through for pile number 3? We have the Four of Wands, card of stability. Well, we have the Cancer energy with the first quarter moon in Cancer, push through the security. I would say that your family and your friends in your closest social circles, they're going to find a lot of security there. And I think with Sagittarius energy, there is going to be more social connection for some of you, especially if you have a tendency to be more homebody or more hermit. You know, you may actually want to reach out to people a little bit more often. And just that reminder that you actually do have an incredible safety net, you know. So the Queen of Coins, let's see what else comes through. The Nine of Swords. Just seems like a drain of energy, you know, that there really does seem to be a question of insecurity or your security. And this is a card of Taurus here. Stability and security. Those are like the words for you right now. Like you don't want to go on a new adventure because it doesn't feel stable, because it doesn't feel likely that you can have stability with that, or maybe you don't want to deal with that period of time of growing pains. Maybe it will require you to take a risk, and that is, you know, like, but I don't know that this is really rooted in anything real unless you're really struggling with your sense of self-value. If you're really struggling with the sense of beauty that you bring into the world. You may be feeling like you're wanting to come home. And when I say come home, I mean like really return to that seat of the soul, that centered, connected with God type of place. And normally when we are kind of indulging in insecurity, there's like a wandering, because our connection with the divine would never be insecure, because it understands not only its divinity, but also its power and its intelligence and its infinite abundant resources. So it's time for you to come home, pile 1. Gratitude is the path. Gratitude. I love the path word. Well, the word path, kind of sound like password. I love the word path for the Sagittarius moon quality here, plus the activation of Sagittarius season, plus we have Mars over in Gemini as well. So there is this quality of the road or the route. All right, so the route is gratitude, and that is going to bring you home, and that is what is going to alleviate your insecurity so that you can embrace what you know your soul is demanding of you right now. Queen of Coins is faithful, and she is also slow paced. None of this has to happen fast, like this week per se. I do think the Queen of Coins is industrious. She will just kind of keep her head down and keep her life going. I think she knows that this time will pass and that she will get over it and it will be okay in the next couple of weeks. And then it will be fine. Some of you may be traveling this week if you're in the United States, if you celebrate, Thanksgiving and whatnot. If you are traveling, connecting with family can be triggering. And so some of you, I'm feeling a mother. Maybe there is a mother, right? We also got the Cancer energy. So a parent, more specifically a mother, may be one of the reasons why this is coming up for you this week. But it will be short-lived. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, Pile 3. You know I love you. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.